God often selects individuals whom society might overlook. Conventional attributes like strength are not primary criteria for divine selection. Neither high intelligence nor widespread fame guarantees divine favor or usage. God's choices frequently defy human expectations and standards. Caleb's story is set against the backdrop of the Israelites' 40-year desert wanderings. This extended period in the wilderness was a consequence of the Israelites' lack of faith. The lack of faith led to a prolonged period of hardship and wandering. Caleb's narrative begins with him already at an advanced age. His age at the start of the story highlights his enduring commitment. Despite his age, Caleb's faith remains strong. Caleb demonstrates steadfast faith in God's promise. His faith persists despite his advanced age. He remains confident in God's ability to deliver the promised land. Caleb's faith overcomes the numerous challenges he faces. At 85, Caleb demonstrates that age is not a barrier. Caleb claims Hebron, fulfilling God's purpose. His vigor is highlighted as he takes possession. Caleb's actions inspire others to pursue their goals. His story shows faith and determination. Caleb's conquest symbolizes overcoming obstacles. Ehud is characterized by his left-handedness. Left-handedness was an uncommon trait in his time. This unusual characteristic becomes a key element of his identity. Ehud's left-handedness ultimately becomes a source of strength. The narrative underscores Ehud's lack of exceptional talents. Ehud did not possess any remarkable physical strength. His defining characteristic was being left-handed. This detail is emphasized as his primary attribute. It suggests his advantage was unconventional rather than overtly powerful. Therefore, Ehud's strength was not in brute force, but in strategic advantage. Ehud, a left-handed Benjamite, secretly crafts a double-edged sword. He conceals the weapon under his clothing on his right thigh. Ehud gains access to King Eglon of Moab under the guise of delivering tribute. Using his left hand, Ehud swiftly assassinates the king, freeing Israel from Moabite rule. Naaman was a Syrian general, a high-ranking military figure. Syria was an enemy of Israel, representing a hostile nation. Naaman's wife had a slave girl who was an Israelite captive. The slave girl's captivity placed her in a vulnerable position. Her Israelite heritage distinguished her from her Syrian surroundings. This sets the stage for a story involving cultural and national divides. A slave girl, despite her captivity, demonstrates compassion. She recommends the prophet Elisha to Naaman. This recommendation shows concern for her captor's well-being. Her actions highlight the power of empathy in difficult circumstances. Naaman, afflicted with leprosy, sought healing based on a slave girl's advice. He followed the advice and visited the prophet Elisha. Elisha instructed him to wash in the Jordan River 7 times. Initially hesitant, Naaman eventually obeyed Elisha's instructions. After washing in the Jordan, Naaman's leprosy was miraculously healed. This story illustrates how God can use anyone, even in difficult circumstances, to bring about healing and restoration. Amos is primarily characterized as a farmer. He also works as a shepherd. Amos lacks formal education. He has a simple background. Amos does not have a high social standing. Amos receives a divine call from God. This calling designates Amos to serve as a prophet. Amos's background is characterized by humility. He lacks formal training in prophetic traditions. Despite these factors, God chooses Amos for this important role. Amos fearlessly condemns the pervasive social injustices within Israel. His message centers on the ethical failures and moral decay of the society. Amos urgently calls the people of Israel to acknowledge their sins. He implores them to turn away from wickedness and return to righteousness. Amos experienced persecution due to his prophetic messages. He faced rejection from those who opposed his message. Despite the opposition, Amos remained committed to his mission. His steadfastness highlights the importance of conviction in the face of adversity. James is introduced as the brother of Jesus. Initially, James did not believe in Jesus' divinity. This disbelief sets the stage for his later transformation. James's initial skepticism highlights the challenges to accepting Jesus' divine nature, even within his own family. The narrative centers on James's skeptical perspective. James questions the validity of his brother's messianic claims. His skepticism stems from their shared upbringing and familiarity. James finds it difficult to reconcile his personal knowledge of his brother with the extraordinary claims being made. James undergoes a significant personal transformation. This transformation is characterized as a conversion experience. The conversion leads James to become a believer. James's belief is specifically centered on Jesus. Following his conversion, James emerged as a significant leader. James played a vital role in the early church. His leadership was centered in Jerusalem. James's influence helped shape the direction of the early Christian community. He is recognized for his contributions to the church's foundation. James held a position of significant respect within his community. His opinions and teachings were highly valued by his followers. This influence extended to his contribution to the New Testament. James authored one of the books included in the New Testament. This highlights his role as a key figure in early Christian thought. His writings continue to be studied and interpreted by theologians and scholars. Caleb's story illustrates that age is not a barrier to serving God. His life demonstrates that faith provides strength during prolonged difficulties. Caleb's unwavering belief enabled him to overcome challenges. His experiences highlight the importance of perseverance in faith. Therefore, Caleb's journey serves as an inspirational example of faith and resilience. Ehud's story illustrates a key principle. God utilizes individual strengths. These strengths are instrumental in fulfilling divine purposes. Paradoxically, perceived weaknesses can also be leveraged by God. Ehud's narrative demonstrates this through his unique circumstances. God's ability to use unconventional attributes highlights his creative power. Therefore, individuals should recognize their potential contributions, regardless of perceived limitations. The story of the slave girl illustrates the potential for good in adverse situations. Even when facing hardship, individuals can positively impact others. Her actions demonstrate that one can be a source of blessing regardless of their circumstances. This example suggests that fulfilling a divine purpose is possible even amidst difficulty. The slave girl's narrative encourages finding ways to serve others, irrespective of personal challenges. Amos's life demonstrates that truth-telling and divine service are not exclusive to the formally educated. Social status is not a necessary condition for fulfilling God's work, as shown by Amos's example. Amos's story challenges the notion that one must possess high social standing to speak truthfully. His life serves as a testament to the accessibility of divine purpose, irrespective of conventional qualifications. James's life change exemplifies the theme of redemption and second chances. God's grace allows individuals to be used powerfully regardless of their initial doubts. Even those who start with skepticism can become instruments of divine purpose. This transformation highlights the potential for positive change within individuals. It underscores the idea that faith and purpose can emerge from unexpected beginnings. The central theme is that God often chooses the unlikely. Anyone can be used by God, irrespective of their background. Perceived limitations do not disqualify individuals from serving God. Willingness to have faith and serve are the key attributes